Yo, what's up guys? My name is Matt. I'm from Pure Red Mutts. I have a quick little video for you. If you're trying to figure out a way that you can recycle content efficiently so that way you don't have to make something new all the time, which I use is all the time. I make one video maybe for YouTube and it's got its single dimensions, but then I want to post like little clips onto the Instagram feed or like on TikTok if you want, or your Instagram stories. But the problem is that all the dimensions are so weird. What ends up happening is your original video gets really cropped and it gets kind of gross and like just uncomfortable, especially as it starts to zoom in more and more as things kind of get cropped. So I'm going to show you a real quick way so that way you can adjust the dimensions on any video while still keeping the same resolution, and it'll have it fit perfectly in whatever social media post or platform that you're trying to get it onto. It fits directly to the dimensions and it's 100% free. Now, preface, this is great if you already have the content and you've already edited it, and there's ways you can edit the video with the software as well for free. But personally, how I use it is more of a central hub. Like, I don't need to be at my computer. I can just sit back and, edit the dimensions on this, make it look real nice for those platforms, download that specifically from this application, and then post it directly. So at this point, I've moved away from the computer, but I already had the finished video. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about as we get into it. As you can see, there's my two adorable dogs. But the app we're going to be talking about today, and this is Android specific. I'm not exactly sure about iPhone, but this is the one that I use all the time. I use it almost every day for every piece of content. It's called YouCut. You can get it completely free. It has a pro version, but all the features are on the free, and I think it works fantastic. You should definitely check it out. So we're going to click on that. And then here is the initial interface. And basically what you're trying to do here is you're going to create a new project by pressing this plus button, new project, and then it'll go into all of your videos, phone, everything you got. So what I'll do here is I will click on this video that I made, and you can see I already have a whole bunch of cuts in it, and it already is like finished. I've recorded it and I've edited it on my video software. Now at this point, you have a couple different options. If you just want a specific part of the video, you can actually just kind of like trim it down this way. But I actually would suggest not doing that at this point because you can do it again later. And if you do it now, then you don't have access to the rest of that video. So I would just import the entire thing directly, and then you can add a bunch of videos if you want. I don't really want to. It's just the one that I have. And then you're just going to press this button right here. So now it has the entire video and everything that you could possibly, want with that video. You can even size it down if you want. You can, size it up if that's easier if you're trying to make cuts. But for our purposes and what we're trying to do today, the thing that we're really going to be looking at, if you scroll over this top bar here, is the background section. You click on this and it already has the dimensions laid out for you. It has the ratios you can use. But for me, I like to take my YouTube content and then move it down specifically into feed post. And all it does is it adds this background, right? And you can do this. The 1x1 is the Instagram feed. 4x5 tends to be, it's like Instagram feed maybe. And then the stories, if you want, I actually use the TikTok 9x16 because that's actually what the stories are on Instagram. But for some reason, it doesn't have that option necessarily on here. But just use the the TikTok 9x16. If you have something that's like smaller, you notice I do the 16x9 YouTube. That's already what I made this video at specifically. So it's designed for YouTube, and then I'm translating it onto the other ones. If you had a video you made with a different dimension, that's basically what it would do. It would create this kind of background that you see. And one thing that's cool about this background is it actually moves with your video. It's basically taking the video, upscaling it, putting it in the background, and then putting a crazy blur on it, right? So it's still like interactive and interesting. It doesn't like look bad at all. And you can do that like with whatever size you need. So for instance, let's say that I want to put this on my Instagram feed, right? You can even adjust the colors in the background and all that jazz, but I just kind of leave it by itself because I think that's more interesting. What I'll do now is I'll take, especially for Instagram feed posts, if you have anything longer than 30 seconds, it'll make it so it's an Instagram IGTV thing, and I'm not very interested in that. So what I'll do, like we talked about, we didn't trim it when we imported it. We imported the entire thing, and now we'll go into trim. I'll find a spot that's interesting. I think around 240-ish was really cool. And then I'll do this. You'll see how there's the total button or the total number up at the top. and that tells you how much total time is on there. So if I go to, for instance, like, sorry, it's a little wonky. 28 seems fine. If I press play on that, now it is a 30-second clip. Exactly. So it created the clip, and it's real easy. If you have actual lyrics in there, it's real easy to put like lyrics. You just need to add like text and say, yo dog, right? And then all you need to do from there is press down. You can add new text. What up? From here, you can zoom in to make sure that they fit correctly. If you just want them to be specifically timed up with your lyrics, it's not very difficult. It does take a little bit to actually get used to using this, but overall, it's a real easy thing. So, and it's as simple as just deleting it if you don't want that, which I do not. So now we have a good little cut for Instagram, and I'm actually going to use this. So what I'll do, it all fits correctly. There's no ways to really like fade out. From what I understand, there might actually be a way to do this, but for this instance, I don't really care about that. It's Instagram. It sends the loop anyway. You can, if you get real creative, actually time it up with like the loop of the song, if that's what you have. But if you don't have like a song, if you don't have any reason to actually fade it out for whatever you need, at this point I would just save it, because all the filters and everything else I would probably do on Instagram rather than here. You can, but it just takes longer to process. So what I'll do is I'll just press save, and then you can choose whatever quality. I always do the highest that I can, and then just because I'd rather have better quality here, and then I can just delete it after I've posted, so that way it doesn't really take up space on my phone. And all you got to do is press save, and then it'll put up this stupid ad. It's a free thing, so it is what it is. And then you can just click the out of that, and you can see that it is actually converting the video. Whenever this is done, it will be saved directly onto your phone. And it's as simple as that. So you can do this exact same thing with every single video. So now I have one for the Instagram stories. Now let's do one for the for the feed. Let's do one with the story now. So it's exactly the same thing. It has the entire video that I'm looking for. It's exactly the same. The only difference is now it has the different background, and I think that's just more interesting than having like a cropped version of it. And especially like for the 9:16, you're basically cutting off 2/3 of the image that you created. So not only is it going to be more pixelated, it's going to be uncomfortably claustrophobic for that specific thing. So now we have it, and we have our 2 videos. They're set. And that's as simple as it can be at this point. Now you can post it, and of course you can actually go back and you can go into your drafts, into your other projects. So if you go into drafts, like these are all the different projects I had, so you can see that I obviously use it a bunch. And yeah, that is it. That's all I got for you guys. I hope this was helpful, because I use it all the time, and I think especially if this is something that you like to do and you want to be able to cross post your content to other platforms. A lot of people aren't always on every single platform that you make. So some people are really into your Instagram, but they're not into your YouTube. This is a good way to be able to recycle content without being redundant and overbearing, because you're making it specifically now for each individual platform, rather than having to make an entire new thing. Like, you don't have to re-edit that video just for Instagram stories and the feed, and then one for YouTube. You can just make one for YouTube and then put it onto this guy. You're not losing any quality, and it's really easy to do, like I showed you. Again, this app is called YouCut. It's really intuitive, and it's free, which is my favorite part, and it's awesome. So let me know what you guys think about it, if this was helpful, and if it was, I make these quick tips all the time, anything that I think might be interesting. If you have any questions, anything that you would like me to go over and actually talk about that I might have some expertise in, feel free to comment that down below. And of course, you can find me on all of my channels. Just check out the description below, and you can find where to check me out there. But in the meantime, I appreciate you guys being here. Keep creating, keep having fun, and that's it. All right, guys, I'll catch you later.